Welcome back everybody to our YouTube channel. My name is Tammo. Today with me my colleague Raoul. Hey Raoul. And we want to talk about Golang developers. Why do we want to talk about Golang developers?
It's coming up more and more. Like complete Golang profiles are more in demand than ever before. And in general, Golang skills are nice to add on to your profile these days.
So if you're an international tech and IT guy, if you're a software engineer, if you're good in Golangs, we're going to walk you through one job description and talk about the main requirements you need to have if you want to apply for Golang positions. So let's jump in here. This is a typical Golang position. Ignore the company, but let's jump straight ahead to the qualification section. What do we see here?
Yeah, I mean, Golang is also for backend side, and that means you are everything which is on the backend, the architecture and so on. It's something that you should always have and be aware of. But since Golang is not a very, or let's say it's very young scripting language, they ask for 2 years of commercial experience with Golang. That of course does not mean that you have 2 years of work experience in general, but 2 years in Golang. You see here that if they point out event-based communication microservices, that the architectural side is very important to consider as well, and that is something that you should be able to build with Golang.
By the way, that is true for all backend guys nowadays. We see that system design, having a good understanding about architectural question is becoming more and more important, especially in a competitive job market like we have it for the last, I would say, 1.5 years.
Yes, and from design until implementation. Yeah, familiar with common monitoring, alerting tools, Stackdriver, Datadog, etc., etc. It's something that is good to have if you have it in your tech stack. And of course, profound understanding in SQL. Yeah? NoSQL they mention here is nice to have, but good understanding databases is very crucial for backend engineers in general.
Yeah. Next, very important, cloud understanding. They mentioned GCP or AWS. In general, we recommend you go for AWS, at least if you want to go for the German market. I would say 80% of the companies are using AWS. And of course, that comes along with having a good understanding of Docker, Kubernetes. They even mentioned Terraform. I know this is more used by DevOps guys itself, but if you have an understanding of Terraform, that is very important as well. Usually German companies like you build it, you deploy it. So if you have DevOps experience as well, that is even more better.
And then something very important, and this is of course not only for Golang developers, but it's something that is underestimated by many developers. The high code quality, unit testing and integration testing. Yeah, this is in order to provide quality. I would say it's one of the most important aspects actually that you need to be aware of and need to be very clear in it and show it, prove it, okay?
I mean, there's this saying, German engineering, and I have the feeling German companies are taking this phrase also when it comes to software engineering. So if you're not able to write clean code, test coverage of like 90%, following best practices, test-driven development, follow solid principles, all those kind of things, you will not make it through the tech round. So we see the biggest or the most common mistakes people do in tech rounds in general is not writing clean code, not having a good format, I mean having spelling mistakes in their README file, no clear documentation itself. So if you're applying for German companies, really make sure you're looking out for this best practice, quality work, as much as you can do.
Yes, and then there are other things mentioned that we don't need to focus on right now because this is for any applicant important, open-minded personality, fluent English communication skills. You don't need German skills here. That is an important part. But I think this is also something relevant, not only for Golang developers.
Yeah, communication in general. We say that I think in each and every one of our videos. Without good communication skills, you will not make it, because I would say 50% is your tech stack, 50% is how you bring that across, especially in an interview situation, which will be online, through Zoom, through Teams, whatever. You need to go the extra mile. You need to be able to explain yourself. You need to be able to give context to what you're saying. You need to be able to ask the right questions in the end as well. So train next to your tech skills, focus on your communication. There are good business English courses on LinkedIn, on YouTube, which you can follow. This is absolutely key.
You said it all. So if you are a Golang developer, or of course also some other developer working in tech and IT industry, feel free to contact us if you need support. If you want to come and move here to work in Germany, we are looking very much forward to meet you and discuss the next steps with you.
Auf Wiedersehen and bye-bye. Ciao.
Take care.